Hi, my douchies. Welcome back to the you-Alchemize podcast. My name is Destiny. I'm your host, and I use the internet as my personal journal where I talk about whatever I want. Today's episode is interesting in the sense that I feel like I say this every episode. I'm still working through it. It's something that I've only become fully aware of a few weeks ago. And I noticed that I used to feel it with someone else, and then eventually anyway, I'll just start explaining and you'll eventually get it. I feel like I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm spoiling it for you. But basically, when I was younger and I would go to my grandma's house, she would always have things for me. She would always offer me food, jewelry, some clothes, whatever it is that she just had on hand that she was like, oh, maybe you would like this, maybe you would like that. And I remember I loved taking certain things and I was like, oh my God, thank you, yay. Half my closet is just her old stuff. But there were some times that she offered me something that I didn't want. So for example, okay, you're me and I'm my grandma. And I go, hey Destiny, I have this skirt that I think you would really, really love. You can have it. And you go, it's not really my style, but I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. But you know what? Maybe we can give this to someone who would really like it. I think I know a friend who this would look really good on. So we can put this aside for them. And then I go, why don't you want the gift that I'm giving you? Why are you being like that? It makes no sense. It'll look good on you too. Why are you rejecting this gift that I'm giving you? And then I would have to get all apologetic and be like, no, it's not that. It's just that, it's just not my style. I really loved most of the things you gave me, but maybe this one is just not me and I don't want it, This is not to put my grandma on blast. I love her and she really does have fun style. So I have, like I said, half of my clothes are hers. But the part that I always couldn't understand was why it upset her so much that I didn't like something she wanted to give me. And a few weeks ago, it hit me that I kind of do the same thing. So I was like, whoa. Maybe this is kind of a, generational curse I have to break. But basically, how I conceptualized what was happening is that I was basically having a conversation with a friend. And I think what was it exactly? I basically voiced an opinion. And then I asked, what do you think? And they were like, no, I don't really agree. I think this and this and that. And I was like, this and this and that? No, why would you think that? It's this. Why would you not think the same way I'm thinking? Why are you not on the same wavelength as me right now? And I observed myself getting really defensive over this opinion that was not really that deep. It wasn't something that is quite that pressing. It wasn't really something that I needed to go so hard on. But because they disagreed with me, I felt such an urge to prove that what I'm saying is correct and that you as my friend should think the same way that I'm thinking. And at that point, I had to stop myself and I was like, what are you doing? It was really a moment that my shadow was coming up and taking over. So I was thinking to myself okay, why did I react this way? And that's when I was reminded of that scenario with my grandmother. How whenever, I guess in that case, it was clothes or something. But whenever my opinion didn't align with hers, she would get upset because why are you not thinking the same way I am? Aren't we on the same wavelength, And I realized that it kind of has a lot to do with the way that I was imagining people in relation to me. So it's kind of I saw my friends as friends and family, people that are close to me, as an extension of myself. So for example, I don't know if you guys have seen this video. It's stupid, but it's really funny and it kind of brings the point right home. There's this video online of the Kardashians made into Sims, and I don't know if it's Khloe or Kourtney or Kim. One of them goes, they're sitting at a restaurant. That's the premise. They're sitting at a restaurant and one of them goes,
I've been here 1,000 times. You should get the orange soda. It's amazing.
And then one of them goes,
okay.
And then when the waiter comes,
what would you ladies like to drink?
Orange soda, please.
I'll have the strawberry soda.
Me too. Strawberry soda.
And then you see like the Sims of Kim being like, like totally flabbergasted, you know? So it's kind of like that. But yeah, the toxicity is a little bit more palpable because you think to yourself, why don't the people that I consider as an extension of me think and act the same way that I would in whatever situation? It can be small things like orange soda, strawberry soda, or it can be something bigger like life choices that your friends and family are making, or the opinions that somebody carries, or their moral value that they have. Like if you allow the way that they think to upset you and change the way that you feel about them, are you really loving them for the person that they are, or are you trying to control who they are around you? And when I had that thought about it potentially meaning that I'm trying to control the people that I'm supposed to be loving, I really had to sit back and remind myself that love is not about controlling or making sure that this person is exactly the same way you are or that they think the same way you think. I had to really sit with the idea, which is it's so funny that I'm having to deal with this now, because it's obvious from a logical point of view that it's like this, but in practice I've noticed that I have a bit of trouble when it comes to that. So in this case, it's like I know that people that I love aren't always going to agree with me, or aren't going to have the same opinion as me, or aren't going to make the same life choices that I would make. But when it actually happens and I feel myself getting defensive about the topic or the opinion or the idea or the decision, I'm like, wait. I have to back it up and kind of look outside myself and think, is this person doing something wrong? Or are they doing something that just I wouldn't do? Is it a moral dilemma, or is it just a change or a difference in opinion? And if it is a difference in opinion, this person is close to you, but they're not a part of you, which means that it doesn't hurt me personally if this person decides that instead of strawberry soda, they want to have an orange soda. They have all defend strawberry soda to make sure that they now change what they want to do in their heart so that it matches with me, you know? The reason why I find it so important that I took that example and made it clear to myself that it's okay that we're not all the same is because I want to live life more and more authentically, which means that there's going to be times when I need to express a difference in opinion from other people. But if in the reverse, I don't allow the people around me to have their opinions, when it comes to me, I will also suppress my own opinion to please others, because the same way I don't make it safe for them to be themselves with me, I won't feel safe being myself with them, because that's the limit that I've set for myself. So basically, I'm trying to analyze my own behavior to help me realize where I'm holding myself back. Because everything in life is a mirror. Everything in life reflects back to me what I am. So if whenever my friend has a different opinion from me or has a different decision that they would make in whatever given situation, and I don't respect their authenticity in the way that they express themselves, then I won't feel safe to do that either, because I'm showing myself through my own actions that it's not safe to be authentic and fully myself. And so that's going to be the point or another point that I'm adding to my journey. To help me to become more and more authentic, I need to allow the people around me to be themselves, because they're not, my finger or my arm or like my leg or something that I need to do exactly what I want to do for it to function properly. Like, no, they have their own arms, they have their own feet. So the only thing I can do is to love them for who they are. And that's also what I would like reflected back to me, that they love me for who I am. So loving people means that you will accept them for whatever that they are, the opinions that they hold, the person that they want to be, the ways in which they change and become different than from what you're used to. But you still love them because the essence will remain. And I want to be loved in that way as well. And if I show that love to others, I can show that love to myself. And the cycle of love can just continue more and more and more. So yeah, I think that's the point of today's video. And I think that's going to be it for today as well. Thank you guys so much for listening. This was the Alchemize podcast, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, my douchies.